Hey everyone. So we're just one cohort from the social work profession or the social work major of Lindenwood University. And we are very happy and excited that we are textbookless. And we just want to tell you a little bit about the positives of being textbookless. So, hey guys, hey class. Ronnie, how do you feel about us not having to have textbooks?
Well, first of all, in an academic sense, the social work program, social work and the theories we use, the interventions we use change rapidly. And textbooks would not keep up with what is happening within the social work field, especially after the pandemic. So that's my first academic reason. But my personal reason would be that I'm a single mother on a limited income. And it would just make it very, very difficult for me to even be part of the social work program if we had to pay for an expensive textbook. So I really appreciate that we are textbookless.
Hey Mitchell, would you like to tell us what you like about being textbookless?
Sure. So I just like in other classes where I did have a textbook, like it just feels like a whole bunch of it is not like you don't cover it in class and it doesn't really feel like as needed. So my perk is that like when I go to class, like I know that the professor selected these certain things specifically, so we're gonna cover them and like they all feel useful.
That was a good point. Mel, do you have a reason for liking textbookless?
Yeah, honestly, coming to Lindenwood, when I heard about Textbookless, I was a little nervous, but I found out that it actually fits my learning style better. And I know the materials are going to be used, and that's what I need to focus on for the class.
Zach, what do you like about not having a textbook for social work?
I think it's, just more beneficial. I mean, it's economically beneficial too. We don't have to, you know, down any trees no more for that. I don't know. It's convenient for sure. I wouldn't say that, you know, it's an insane advantage, but because textbooks do help, but there's nothing you can't access online that you can get on paper. So it's nice.
Tori, how has not having to have a textbook impacted you?
I think it's great to not have to lug around a bunch of books. Like Ronnie had mentioned, there's a lot of elements to social work, a lot of interventions. We would probably have multiple textbooks. I think it's really fitting that social work is the program to start implementing this because they're advocating for the students. Financially, I know that it would be a struggle for me. I work two jobs and a side job on the side on top of being a full-time student. So I don't know that school would be as easily accessible for me had the textbooks been a thing, because whenever I got my associates, I was spending anywhere from $500 to $1,000 per semester on textbooks. And yeah, I think it's something that we should implement across other programs too.
I agree. Nisha, what are your thoughts about not having, not having to have a textbook?
Man, I would say everyone has had some pretty good ideas and thoughts about it. I agree with everyone. Um, for sure. I don't like carrying a whole bunch of books, so it's been great having everything accessible online. So yeah, I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
I'm not sure if anyone else has anything specific to say, but I'll go before anyone else. I think I agree with Mel when she was saying it's better for my learning style. I like not having to always have to read from a textbook. We can watch a video or listen to a podcast. I just like learning in different ways because it helps me really grasp what I'm learning. Oftentimes, when I'm reading a book, I get tired, I get sleepy, I'm skimming, I'm not getting the main point of what I'm supposed to be learning. And if anybody else wants to add any specifics of what they like or don't like about being textbookless, now's your chance.
I think specifically like with social work, the practices are always changing. So it would be like a new textbook or like I don't know, how would the textbook stay up to date really with everything that's changing like constantly. So I think that online, like getting resources and whatever the professors like find online that are relevant to the classes and relevant right now is pretty beneficial.
I'm still thinking about like other classes, like their textbooks, and I still think a lot of the time, like for a sciencey class, like our biology textbook was like, free, so we didn't have to spend. It was just like an open stacks textbook, something like that. So that I didn't really hate. But then like some chemistry textbooks we used, and I love my chemistry like professor, and like his presentations that he did were really like detailed. Like that's what we needed to know, and it felt like our textbook was just thrown in there, and you didn't really need it, but it was like on the textbooks list, and I didn't want to not have it just in case you did need it. But I just thought the professors did a good job telling you what you needed to know, and you didn't have to really rely on a textbook.
That's what I was going to say too, Mitchell. Before Lindenwood, not at Lindenwood, but at other places where I was spending the same thing, like what Tori was saying, $500 to $1,000 on textbooks. We rarely use the textbooks. It really seemed like it was just something that professor's supervisor or dean said you must have a textbook. So they put it down, made us get it, but rarely used it. I mean, we rarely even looked at the textbook. So that always seemed really kind of foolish to me. So I agree with you completely, because I think the professors we're in a society now because of the internet, or even in other classes. I mean, even history classes. My son's history class was way different than my history class. So even they're changing things about what happened in history and making it more relevant to a more diverse community. And so even that doesn't always follow what the textbook says. So I think you're absolutely right. I agree with that.
Does anyone else have some thoughts about being a textbookless profession?
Just a little step. I don't want to be super repetitive, but just in terms of budget, I'm kind of in the same category as Tori, whereas I have two jobs, and I'm helping take care of my brother. So we have medical bills that we have to take care of in the midst of all of that. So not having to pay for textbooks for school has helped out a lot, since that's something that I don't have to add to the budget, or I don't really have to worry about. And I know that my professors are going to make sure that I have the most up-to-date resources, which not only help out in my personal life, but will help me in the as well. So, and that I appreciate.
I think something I wanted to add. So, college is already expensive. So, like, being textbookless kind of reduces that as somebody like just like everybody else. I work, I go to school, I'm busy. And then it's also very convenient because I'll be honest, like having those books, I'm not going to carry it around everywhere I go, and just kind of having it, on my cell phone or like tablet, I can just pull it up and just do it when I have time. And I just think that's just very convenient of just having it, textbookless than just having the actual book.
I'm gonna kind of repeat what Mel and Simone said. I agree that it fits my learning style better. I have a hard time just sitting down and reading chapters on end over topics. I get bored and I have to break it down, where when I have separate articles and podcasts and videos to watch, it's easier for me to do it in one chunk of time because it's different. It feels like different just sources and information, and I don't get as bored and I'm grasping the information more. But yeah, other than that, just financially, it's part of the reason why I picked Lindenwood was that they didn't require textbooks. and that all the information was given to us online.
Well, thanks everyone for getting into the conversation. And thanks whoever's listening to our views because it's really important. And I think textbook lists should be implemented in other majors too. It'd be very helpful for college students.